Howdy, everyone. Welcome into the TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti, and just me and Luke Evangelist here warming up by the fire, getting all cozy before we go into our Christmas break. Luke, how did you enjoy the show today?
It was awesome. It was our third time hosting together, and I think it was our best, but I'm a little bit biased.
Would completely agree. Oh, by the way, to keep with the Dalton and Richard tradition, Merry Christmas. Oh,
that was crispy.
That's good. Merry Christmas,
Merry
my
Christmas. We finally found something warmer than the fire.
Yeah, the beer.
This beer.
Anyways, on the Rewind today, who did we have, Luke?
We had a couple of incredible guests. We had Mark French, we had Will Johnson, and we also had Jason Howell, and closing it out strong with our buddy John Harris.
Aggie hoops, Aggie football, recruiting, NFL. What more can you want? Here it is.
So I had the Celtics head of scouting and I are good buddies, and I get a text about midway through the second half, and he goes, "Wade Taylor's so stinking good." And I was like, yeah. I was like, he really is. It's too bad he doesn't have more help today. It just pull up the box score. It's like Wade, 34 points, no one else in double digits. And, the slow start, we were down 15 at halftime. And, I started getting all these texts about, the season's a failure and all these TexAgs message board type overreactions. And look, Houston's now number one in the net, I believe. And I actually think we moved up 7 spots. I don't know. I think Sandhop's been doing a really good job, and obviously just Twitter and stuff following it. But I think we moved up to 16. So you just hung with, a Final Four team without your starting center, there's a lot to be excited about. It's just frustrating because we're so close and we really needed that marquee win. It's like I told Nuno last week. So I really wanted to get the Memphis win at home because it would have given us a little bit more wiggle against UH where we're not 7-4 going into into Christmas break. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, we played a reasonably tough schedule and we're 16th in the net. I think last year we were like 75th or something. So we've positioned ourselves really well, and now it's going to be about getting to that 11-7 or 12-6 mark in conference.
Yeah, it was certainly a Wade Taylor performance for the ages, but he couldn't close it out. With the status of Boots Radford still a little bit uncertain, who are you looking to step up in the backcourt to help become Wade's sidekick?
Well, obviously the staff has a lot of trust in Jace Carter. Played 33 minutes the other night. He was only 1 of 7 from 3. Is that a product of playing in an NBA arena? Your sight lines are different. The shooting's a little bit different.
Everything that's going on, there is still a game to be played.
In
5 days. Can you give us your early thoughts, maybe expectations, or just what you're looking to see in that game against Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I keep thinking that I'm going to watch what I think Coach Elko would be watching when he sees it. But Coach Elko said he's not going to be too much in an observation role or an evaluation role in this game. He just wants to go down there and support the guys. Yeah. He wants this group to close out the season right in the best way they can. So I don't think he's going to put a ton of stock in a guy that plays great. That guy doesn't have a leg up going forward in his program. If a guy struggles in this game, that doesn't mean they're behind as they step into the way his program will run. So he's going to be more supportive and more in an observation role. But I guarantee you, I'll watch the game. If somebody does something well, I'm going to be thinking, man, I wonder what Coach Elko thought of that. He's got to like that. But bowl games are what they are now. You get guys going to the NFL, so they opt out of the game. Edgerrin Cooper, big loss there. You get some guys going into the transfer portal. They won't play in the game. Injuries are a part of this. But it's an interesting dynamic because I've said this on our radio show that Oklahoma State is the one right now with the stability. I mean, that's a 20-year head coach over there.
Yeah.
And they've got a roster that's full for this game. A&M is the team going through the transition, piecing together who's going to play, what's the depth chart look like, don't have a full coaching staff. So It's just in terms of stability going into the game, it's advantage Oklahoma State. But I think it speaks volumes about how actually talented A&M's roster is there's a lot of people think, and I'm one of them, that A&M can be right in there and actually win the game despite all that's going on in a time of transition with their program. So A&M has a shot in this one. I think Ollie Gordon, I think he's playing as we sit here on December 22nd. Hadn't been an opt-out yet, but they're going to want to run him, and they're going to know that A&M has some of the guys that were big on the defensive front not playing in the game, Edger and Cooper being one of those, so they're going to want to run him.
Of the guys that have already signed, just what are you thinking?
Yeah, 12 signees. You picked up 2 out of Tampa on signing day. You've got picked up another commit the day before out of Florida. Overall, I think you got to feel pretty good about it. If you can get out of this day without Dominic McKinley signing somewhere and maybe adding a couple more, you could really close this period strong and prepare yourself into February looking pretty good. Overall, I think Mike Elko's done about as good a job as you could have expected.
Yeah, it's never easy to recruit during a coaching change, but how much are you impressed with Coach Elko's efforts to get active on the trail, go meet with the Texas high school coaches, get on the phone with these commits and recommit these players and lock them down for early signing day?
It's been incredible. It really has. He's been, like Bronny's been saying, I'm sure it's been said all over the place on TexAgs, but he's, drinking out of a fire hose. There's so many different things that he has to do, whether it's meeting with these kids and their families and coaches or other coaches across the state, or just filling out, recruiting his roster and filling out his coaching staff. He's had so many different things going on, and to be able to do what he's done in this signing period, I'd say it's phenomenal. I give him an A+.
Is there a particular signee so far that you're going to be most excited to watch in maroon and white?
I think Solomon Williams is kind of that guy that's, he's got a bit of a mystery to him because he was a late addition.
I'll tell you what, guys, that was an afternoon I'll never forget. For a number of reasons. I mean, obviously, it's a game we had to get and stay in the playoff hunt. It was in their building, which we've already beaten them 3 of the previous 4 years. So when winning on Sunday, that was 4 out of 5 in their building. The only time they beat us was in the COVID year of 2020. So there's yet to be a full stadium to see them beat us since 2018. And then them wearing those jerseys. And I mean, I'm 51. People know that. I share that. And I say that only because I moved to Houston just outside the Love You Blue era. So I got here right when Warren Moon got here in 83. And so I became a staunch Oilers fan at that point. And the Oilers could never close. They could never give that game. And finally in the 90s, it was like, it's happening. They're so talented. It's going to happen. And then the Broncos happened. And then the Bills happened. Then the Chiefs happened. And it was like that team left so many scars, but yet they were our team. They were ours. And then after 22 years of being in the league, when they've never worn those uniforms, they decide this is the year to wear them, and they're going to wear them against us. My buddy Andre Ware said at the end of the game, go put those jerseys in a trunk and put them in the closet. It was a pretty emotional moment for a lot of people. Like, I'm from Richmond Rosenberg. Dre's from Dickinson. Houston tugs at our heartstrings. And so to see them try and channel what was representative of Houston in Nashville against Houston, they got what they deserved. And there were a couple of players that really kind of understood it and got it. And I think people that have lived in Houston for a while, they get it too. So it was a really, really cool afternoon to come back, to have Case be the one that, brought us back. He's a guy that just loves Houston. I mean, he said after the game, he just loves Houston. So all of that working together, You got 13-0. I was like, oh boy. But they chipped away and they found a way.
All right, everybody. For TexAgs, for what we want for Christmas, we want a like, we want a subscription if you're not already subscribed. Comment on how good Luke looks in his New York Giants ugly Christmas sweater, and yeah, that's it. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Have a happy holidays, everyone.